Hi, my name's Daniel. I'm 17. I go to Onslow College. I enjoy acting and theatre and communicating with other people. Today I'm checking out what it's like to be a secondary school teacher.
Wellington High School's roll sits at around 1,000 students. Today Daniel will be observing science teacher Matthew Easterbrook.
So what are we doing today?
Today I've got 5 lessons, so we've got a bit of planning to do before then, so let's go to it.
Cool.
Matthew is teaching undergraduates while completing his science degree. This experience gave him the passion to take up a career in teaching.
Haven't looked back, it's great, I love it.
With the day's planning out of the way, it's time for Daniel to sample the first lesson of the day with Matthew.
I'm just going to introduce you to Daniel. He's here today, he's a Year 13 student.
I don't know much about science, but I did Year 9 science, so maybe I can help you out with some of this stuff.
Great.
After Matthew introduced Daniel to the class, booklets are handed out for the students to complete.
Each individual lesson, you're trying to isolate the most important thing that you want the students to get out of it, and that would be your learning intentions. So, 2 learning intentions today. 1, I want you to understand that matter is found in 3 states. Talk about what those 3 states are in a moment. And the second one's getting you into the nature of science. We're going to investigate the changes of state by experiments and observation. I like to use a range of activities, so they are interacting with each other and me, and some sort of practical aspect to help bring those concepts out.
This Year 9 class is the first of the day, and Daniel is a keen observer.
Have you done yours? Oh, it's all right, I'm not checking or anything. Oh, nice.
Daniel needs to concentrate as he will get a taste of what it's like to be a teacher under Matthew's watchful eye next period.
Go for it.
Right, first of all, does anyone know what the 3 states of matter are?
Solid, liquid and gas.
Right, nice. Does anyone know how we can change a solid into a liquid into a gas, and then all the way back again? Yeah.
Well, to turn a solid into a liquid, you need to melt the solid.
Anyone else know how to change a solid into a gas? Yes.
Sublimation.
Very good, sublimation, right.
Predict, observe, explain idea is really getting the students to think about what could happen, so their prediction.
So we're moving on, and we're seeing how dry ice reacts with just normal tap water. But first, predict what is going to happen.
And then they make an observation of that experiment, and then they try and explain it using some scientific theory or ideas that they've learned. And it's a great way to pick up any misconceptions to do with the scientific ideas you're trying to get across. Why was it doing that? What's our explanation? Reuben, have a go here.
Did the water, because it's quite warm, did it violently heat the ice, which is really cold, so it sort of sped up the sublimation?
Yeah, you're onto it.
It's a busy day for Matthew and Daniel. Next up this morning, Year 13 biology.
The new curriculum's not so content heavy, and so there is a strong emphasis on the students' learning and how they learn.
The way students learn has changed over the years, with the emphasis moving more onto the student than the teacher.
The big change has been moving away from giving students content into more getting them to think about their learning and how they learn, and teachers taking a step back from being the centre of attention so that the students are doing the activities, they're developing their learning in their own way.
For Matthew, this is a busy day's teaching, but not all days are as busy as this one.
It'd be unlikely you're teaching 5 periods or for a full day every day, so you have what we call free periods or non-contacts, and that's when you do your planning and your marking and other things.
It's lunchtime and Matthew takes Daniel to meet with some of his Year 11 biology students. 2 years ago, the students tested water in a nearby stream and discovered that it was polluted. They decided to rectify this. Today, they're collecting seeds from native trees, which they hope to plant next to the stream.
So the orange ones are ripe. Should be ready.
Not poisonous, are they?
No, I don't think so. Teachers often get involved in extracurricular activities. It's an ideal way to get to know the students outside the formality of a classroom. It's a much more relaxed environment.
After lunch, it's a crash course in forces for the Year 11 physics class.
What I wanted to show you was that forces are all around us.
Next, a practical experiment outside the classroom.
Right, so we're going to have a tug of war, shortest versus tallest.
Even when I was at school, there was a clear division between the teacher and the student. There is still that boundary and there's still that respect for the teacher, but, you know, I can joke with them and have a bit of a laugh. Oh! It did break! I can't believe it! What I was trying to show you was that this group had a greater mass. All right, so therefore they were more likely to be pulling this group, which was a little bit smaller in mass, towards them. So the forces were unbalanced. I think it's getting these cool science ideas across to students and seeing the wonder and the awe of it all, and seeing them mature and develop from year 9 through to year 13. You know, they're almost university students, and the relationships you build up over 5 years are pretty powerful.
So what advice would Matthew give anyone interested in becoming a secondary school teacher?
You need to be flexible and a little bit relaxed about things. I think you need to let go a little bit and let the students do the learning for themselves. And yeah, be passionate about whatever you're teaching. I think that comes out as you teach. If you love it, then your students will engage with you and enjoy it as well.
So what did Matthew think of his student teacher for a day?
Yeah, I think Daniel will be quite good as a secondary school teacher. He's got the confidence to stand up and deliver. He's started building relationships between the students already, so he's walking around, asking them questions and taking a genuine interest in them, which is quite important for a teacher.
Well, I think I appreciate a teacher's job a lot more now. It's just such a rewarding feeling when you see the students really enjoying themselves and getting into the topic that you've been talking about.
There are two options for study to become a secondary school teacher. You can either complete a specialist subject degree followed by a graduate diploma of teaching secondary, or complete a combined specialist subject and secondary teaching degree. For secondary teaching, it is really important that your degree includes 2 teaching subjects, otherwise you may have to do extra study. Secondary school teachers are in demand, your employment prospects are high.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.